Greetings, Mythics. How are we all? Hopefully you've all had a lovely, lovely sleep this Saturday morning. It is 10 a.m, pretty close to 10 a.m, so, you know, I'm not that late. My name is Ken Boyter, and I'm your host for Edra Tales Twitch channel and the Edra Tales YouTube channel and the Edra Tales website. If you want to find out more about my projects, go check out edratales.com. No? Is it .com or .co.uk? I can't remember. Type Edra Tales into Google and you should, or a search engine of your choice, and you should find out exactly all about my projects. But this is Edra Scrolls, Ramblings of a Storyteller. This is a show about creativity where we talk about creativity. Obviously, we talk about your creative projects, talk about my creative projects, and we ramble off onto other subjects as well. This is Loquacious. He is the Bottled Imp. Well, he's the imp of the Bottled Imp, and if you want to check out this YouTube channel, it's one that I co-created with my good friend Julian, and we have over 450 reviews of fantasy goodness, fantasy film reviews, fantasy book reviews, and fantasy board game reviews too. We haven't done some in a while because life has taken over, but if you want, you know, there's some really classics in there of fantasy stuff. There's also some more obscure fantasy that you may not have heard of. So we like to mix that up a bit. Good morning, Spell Sing. How are you? Here we go, people. Yeah, exactly. Here we go for another Eyes Down for a Full House. And by the way, for those of you that have never watched before, if you miss the live streams and you would like to watch the live streams but you can't make it, you go over to the YouTube channel Edra Tales, where I do export all of these live streams over onto that channel. And I would like to do more YouTube. It's just one of those funny things with, you know, time. Everybody's only got a finite amount of time to do things in. And while I love doing the Bottled Imp, you know, it was really enjoyable. Julian has all the, you know, big fancy film equipment. He's a filmmaker, photographer, and, you know, he's a really good laugh. He's a good bloke. You know, we had a good time doing it. Julian would come up with some good creative ideas. I'd come up with some good creative ideas. You know, it was a good creative project in its own. However, when we stopped doing it, well, no, I did realise actually. Good morning, Jonathan. How are you, sir? How are you, sir? Just talking. I've just started rambling about the finite amount of time that you have to do your creative projects, and so it comes down to priority. Because, as you know, we used to do the Bottled Imp. And I was just saying, I really enjoyed doing it. I really enjoyed doing reviews and also going to the conventions and meeting people like yourself, fine fettle people. That didn't make sense, does it? Like Jonathan, who are creators, you know, who are writers or, you know, whatever. Somebody who's creative. I do like interviewing people like that because, you know, you learn, you know, what it's like from their point of view to be creative, and also learn about their projects, you know, which is always interesting. So, but it is about, I realised as we were doing the Bottled Imp that, you know, it took us quite a while to do, you know, episodes because we wanted to do them as best we could. I take it that you make money from the Bottled Imp. Well, Jonathan. I'll get onto that in a second because I just want to say that I realised with the Bottled Imp, you know, we were doing episodes, and it took me about, I'd say, you know, 3 or 4 hours to maybe write a review. But obviously, I had to read the book, I had to watch the film, I had to play the board game. So it might take me a day to write 3 episodes, let's say. And then we would spend a day filming 3 episodes. If it was a board game, it would take longer because obviously, well, not obviously, but Julian had several cameras and, you know, had overview cameras so we could see the board and everything like that. So Julian did a really good job. And then it would take, you know, him probably a day to edit all 3 episodes. So overall, it took 3 days to kind of produce maybe 3 episodes. And so it doesn't sound a lot, but if you're doing weekly, then it kind of is. Plus, we were up the game at one point. We did a Wednesday show, like where I looked for fantasy news and then just did like a 15-minute news roundup of fantasy stuff, like conventions and books coming out and films coming out and that kind of thing. Good morning or good evening, Lerin. How are you? Thank you for updating my name. The gentle Grockle Snook cut down on the spider beard. He has. He's awake this morning. He is awake. You're more than welcome, Lerin. Thank you. We got there in the end, so thank you for that. Yeah, I just copied and pasted it, so the actual Chinese characters have come out. So hopefully you should be very happy with that. Don't you need 1,000 subscribers to be able to monetize your account? The bottom one's over 8,000 subscribers. Yes, that's a very good point, Jonathan. Morning, Mr. Green. Morning, Lerin. Good evening, Spells. Okay, so yeah. So in terms of monetization, this is where Julie and I we've got a very good relationship, good friends. We're very passionate about creativity, and we have a relationship where it's robust enough for both of us to kind of disagree with something, and yet we'd still be okay with it. And the way we operate is that if both of it, I don't know, I read this somewhere, Eric Morecambe and Moni Wise, or one of the double acts, it was just like, if both of them don't agree, they won't do it. And so we kind of had that approach. And monetization was an interesting factor because at the time, you didn't need 1,000 subscribers. So this was way back 2015, I think we started doing it. 2014. And Julian, so that was it, yeah. So there was no adverts. If you didn't monetize your channel, they wouldn't put adverts on it. Okay, so that was back in the day. As soon as you monetized it, they would put adverts on. So Julian's thinking, and I can see this point of view, was, well, if we put adverts on, people might just stop watching and, click away. So we didn't monetize it for ages. And also he said, oh, we're too small. And I'm like, okay, fair enough, okay. However, so we both did it for free. And then every now and again, I'd kept mentioning, right, so, we do need to monetize this because we're doing this for free. And it's our time. It's our time. It's time that we're not doing other things that we could be earning money with. And he always disagreed. He always disagreed about not wanting to monetize it because he didn't want people to not have, to be put off by the adverts. So it just went on like that. So basically, no is the short answer. We have not ever made a penny out of the bottled imp. Good morning, Martha. How are you? Only 4 sleep is not fun. Gates of Whiterun is still so soothing to listen to 16 years later. Good old Maestro Jeremy Thal. Lerin, I've got to hand it to you. I wouldn't know where that. I'd know it's from Skyrim, but I wouldn't know the precise moment or what it's called. So, hats off to you. Only 4 hours of sleep. Oh, I see. Only 4 hours of sleep is not fun. Oh, big hugs, Martha. Feels like you're still poorly. So yeah, so we've not made a penny out of the bottled imp, even though, like you say, Jonathan, we've got over 8,000 subscribers, and a while ago we had over, I think, is it 1 million views? It's something like that. We've got, collectively of all the videos, we've got over 450. And I met up with Julian, last year, and we were just talking about stuff because we were planning. But I couldn't do it in the end because of the Guildlands promotion. We were planning on doing a live stream, a sort of 10-year anniversary. But I said to him, yeah, it's all changed now. They put adverts on regardless. So we should be monetizing the channel. And then Julian said, oh, okay, he'd look into that. And then he never did. So, yeah. It's one of those things that I've kind of just let go, and I guess when we stopped doing it, it didn't cross my mind that you could still monetize videos. But we do need to do that. And I am going to be texting him after the show, actually. So I might mention it to him as well. Because, yeah, I don't know how much money, even if we get £100 each a month, it's much better than nothing, isn't it? Hello, says Jam. My electric, eccentric Edra lights. Edra lights. Good morning, Jam. How are you, sir? How is everything? You're probably on thousands of pounds in earnings. Are you actually being serious there, Jonathan? Or is that... Would it be that much? Yes. Oh, wow. Okay. Right, well then. Right, cancel this live stream. Julian, click the button. Martha says, sneaks up and takes a hug of Jam. There we go. Right, well, we definitely need to do that. Yeah, because hopefully he'll agree, because at the moment, you know, we're not actively doing anything with the channel, but there's all that content there. So you're right, we should be. There we go. So yeah, thanks for that. I kind of, you know, just forgot about it again, which is pretty remiss of me, isn't it? So, yeah, it's always that creativity and money. How do you earn money from this game, huh? Good evening, dear Martha, and audacious Jan, says Lirin. You might need to start doing stuff regularly again. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, that could happen. I mean, there was two things really that Julian, that we kind of, what happened was both of our time got cut short for different things, different reasoning. But yeah, if it can earn some money a month, then maybe I don't have to do my part-time job. So basically what happened was Julian became a dad for the second time. So his time was taken up, obviously, you know, being a new dad. And then my time was cut short because I had to get a part-time job. And it was kind of, I guess it's ironic, because that part-time job I might not have, you know, I might have not had to do as many days if I was earning money from the bottled imp. I think I do remember saying that to Julian. But it wasn't only that as well, because Julian was interested in growing the channel and seeing how, you know, big you can get a channel. But he wasn't, you know, he wasn't massively into the fantasy genre. So he, you know, he's more horror. So we weren't massively, you know. So Julian, after a while, you know, he found it difficult to remain interested, if that makes sense. Especially as we weren't earning any money. So I know it's a contradiction, because it's like, well, if he'd monetized it, then he would be earning money, and then. But even then, he wasn't really, you know, getting stretched. So it was a kind of chicken and egg thing, really. But who knows? Maybe he'd want to go back to doing some episodes. I'm more than happy to do some review episodes again. Leaving is, but I fast travelled to Whiterun enough times to restock during the 3-year pandemic playthrough. Enough times to recognise the music theme of home. Yeah, I know. Those were the glory days. Martha's put here, can't stay too long, going to get some food before the gaming club. Yes, it's really cool that you've found a regular gaming club, Martha. It's excellent. Jam has put here, I just read that first word, circumcisions are cut short. And there's your ding, Lirin. Yeah, so what we found was, in order to, like, the easiest ones to do were film reviews, because obviously if you watch a film, that is a finite amount of time. That's an hour and a half of my time, 2 hours, 3 hours max, you know, if it's a big, long sort of Lord of the Rings thing. And then, you know, writing a review is always roughly the same amount of time. Then came books, but books, you know, I'm not a quick reader, so, you know, I always had to have a book on the go. I always had to be 3 or 4 books ahead, you know. And then board games were the longest, because obviously I had to, 9 times out of 10 at that stage, buy the game, play the game at least twice, you know, maybe 3 times, just to get a good feel for the game. Then I'd have to really learn the rules inside out, because we'd do how you could play it as well. And then I would, so that took a long time to put together in terms of the writing the review. And then filming it, Julian had to, we wanted to do a camera overhead so you could see the board, camera on me because I'll be presenting it, and then a close-up camera if I had any cards that I would show. So, you know, and then you do a day's filming. And so a board game could take a morning, basically, whereas the books and films, we could probably do 3 in a morning, you know, if it was just books and films. So, I don't know. We'd have to talk about what we wanted it to be. You know, what would it be? May your attack rolls always roll 20. Yes, exactly, says Leaving to Martha. Martha's, today I'm going to work on something else. Can't do much with this dumb shoulder. Yeah, big hugs there, Martha. So are you're gonna work? What are you gonna work on, Martha? Is it a new D&D character? Yes, and Jonathan's got some great news. He's got a new book out, another Arkham horror book, book 3. I've forgotten what it's called. So congratulations to Jonathan. It's fantastic. Pen for hire. A writer for hire. Was it a gun pen for hire? I don't know what I'm trying to say. There we go. The King Sport Metamorphosis. The King Sport Metamorphosis. I'm assuming it's available now, isn't it, to buy? Tavern menu for my LARP character. Oh, that's brilliant. You're creating a tavern menu for your LARP character. Fantastic. Well, enjoy that. That's always good. One thing I really do delight in is writing about food in my books for some reason, and my short stories, for those of you that were patron back in the day when I did patron, you know, for some reason I would get really kind of into, if any food mentioned, I just like thinking up weird food, you know, fantasy food. And so, you know, I have done that in To Kill a Thief as well. Yeah. So yes, the King's Sport Metamorphosis is the third book in the Arkham Horror. So it sounds like, Jonathan, they're doing well. They're selling well then, if you're, you know, they keep asking you to write them, which is fantastic. Because Jonathan, those of you who don't know, Jonathan's a full-time writer now, and that is some going. To actually make a living out of your writing is hard to do that. It is hard, unless you just have like a blow-up novel that just, you know, goes wild. It's hard to do that. Then you will love the Old Oak Inn. Brilliant. That is the tavern my LARP character worked at before someone burnt it down. Oh, let me guess, it was a wizard with fireball. Jonathan's Perry, thank you. No, honestly, it's no mean feat. It really is. I've got mean feet. They're very angry at me. The Old Oak Inn. I love that. The Old Oak Inn. That's a great name. Sounds fantastic. So, yeah, because ultimately, you know, I'm trying to build up my range of game books, like you've done your range of game books, Jonathan. And so, it you know, and do my board games, and it's almost like, surely, out of all of this, you can earn some money, and you can. It's true, you can, but it's just a lot of hard work, isn't it? It's a lot of hard work. Potentially, things can take longer than you think they are. If you think of Guildlands, you know, my second board game published, that took us on and off 6 years to develop. It's crazy. Managed to fall asleep for 5 hours, says Lyrian, without the help of Xanax. Oh, that's brilliant. First time in weeks. Yay, well done. Though waking up at 3 a.m. without Xanax is still something I have to work on. Oh, well, obviously look after yourself, Lyrian. Make sure your health is fine. I've been very fortunate over the years to be able to sleep, you know, pretty well. You know, I've never really gone through a spate of not being able to sleep. So I've been lucky like that, but I do appreciate some people find it difficult. And I know this is not necessarily the answer, because if it would be this easy, you'd be doing it. But I tend to read before I go to sleep. I try to go, right, whatever's happened today, I'm not going to think about, because I think that can start playing on your mind, and also maybe stuff coming up, you know. So, and at the moment, I'm reading a Lovejoy book. The Gondola Scam. Lovejoy. They've dropped the murder mystery. Now, this is a different company that's printed this. So this is like its third company, Mysterious Press. Because the original ones had a Lovejoy murder mystery. That's kind of what it was tagged as. They were murder mysteries. But yeah, not all of them are. But to be fair, there's still been a sort of murder in each one. So they probably are still Lovejoy murder mysteries. Managed to fall asleep. Oh yeah, we did that. I've got chicken nuggets. Classic. Lovely. Lieben's put, though I would gladly not take any on Wednesday nights, not before we finally reclaim the crown of kings at last. There you go, yeah. Part 3, I believe it is. Sorcery, Book 2. Classic. So, I have a few updates. You can't beat David Essex. Somebody should cosplay David Essex, shouldn't they? With the old kerchief round the neck, the red and white sort of handkerchief, knotted, big sort of permy hair. So yes, a few updates for To Kill a Thief. So, this is my proof copy that I got from the printers. Part 2 of 4. Well, it's book 2 of 4, Lirin. What I meant was... that's what you meant. Yeah, so this is book 2 of 4 books. But we're on part 3 of this book, if that makes sense. So, yes. So these are my proof copies that I get from the printer. Now, I did speak to the printer. For some reason, the printer put this little QR code on the back. And I was like, what? If anyone's putting a QR code, it's me. So they said, oh, yeah, that's because... And it might be just because it was a one-off. It was just one of them. But they said, oh, yeah, that was our contractor. So it feels like they then go to a different printer to get these printed. I don't know. It's kind of weird. So I said, yeah, could you not put them on there, please? Because, you know, I didn't ask for them on there. And they said, yeah, we can remove that. It might cost you more. And I was like, it might cost me more? It cost me more to take something off that I didn't ask for in the first place? So we shall see. If they arrive with a QR code, I'm going to get my money back. Or I'm going to, I'll get my money back. Or I'll just say, no, you need to reprint all these again, please. Because I didn't ask for that. That's not how the artwork has been supplied. And equally with this one, I don't know if I said this, but the arm is slightly different. So what they did was they sliced a bit of the cover and then flipped it to make it enough to wrap round. And again, I was like, but that's not how I supplied you the artwork. And they went, oh yeah, no, well, because we needed to. And I'm like, okay, but if there's a problem, come back to me and tell me what you need and I will supply it. Don't just bodge this up. You know, so they did. They said, okay, well, we need 20 millimeters of bleed. And I thought, you don't need 20 millimeters of bleed. You know, as in, like, right around there. But I did do that. I extended all the image out. You know, I drew his feet in this time, you know, and stuff like that. Extended the water down there. And then, yeah, so it still looks good. Well, thank you very much. I know it's not noticeable that much because it's right on the spine. But I remember looking at it going, hang on, what's happened here with his arm? And it is. If they just Photoshop that green bit out, I don't know if you can see that properly. Do you see it kind of flicking up? If they just Photoshop that out, they would have got away with that. Because that bit is, yes, you can tell it's sort of reversed. But... if you're going to do it properly. Is Martha going then? Let's have a look. Martha, yes. Thank you for popping in. Appreciate it. Have a lovely gaming session and hope you feel better as well. James, I got a personal QR code. Keep that to yourself then. No, have you put it on the back of your book then, your QR code, or... have Grocklesnook chew the QR codes off. Yeah, exactly. Still looks good. Night Martha. I know, it's only picky. It's very picky. But I've spent a year of my life writing and typesetting this book, and Claire's proofread it, Sally's proofread it, you know, Julian's playtested it, some of you playtested it. You know, Jonathan very kindly gave me some of his time to talk to me about how to do a game book and what the best things are to do and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. Well, absolutely, Jonathan. It's not picky. They shouldn't do it. Oh, it's on your website, chat. Oh, what? It goes to a picture of you or something. So, yeah, no, absolutely. Well, this is why I was a bit... I sort of wrote a little bit of a furious email, and then I thought, no, tone that down. Because I do want them still to print it. But it was like, yeah, what they've done, rather than coming back to me and saying, right, the cover isn't long enough, even though I'd followed their template, maybe they used to with the amateur vanity authors, it could well be, Jonathan, yeah, it could be. It could be, but even though I did the spine the correct width, I did each bit correct width. But what the when you upload it, what I think happened was it didn't give me the specs properly for the hardback, because it looks like they were this bit here. Can you see the little indentation? This bit here, they were short. So they should have told me more about this bit here. However, what they did say, because I had to upload it into 3 sections, the back cover, the spine and the front cover. This time they said, oh no, you can just do it as one big cover. But when you upload it, when it does that, it doesn't show you that. It doesn't seem like that's an obvious option. So they said, yeah, if you do it this size, you know, and there's the spine that and all of that. So I've done that. I did it as one big cover. So it should, and 10mm, because Quark didn't let me do 20mm, 10mm bleed. So they should have everything. And it looked all right on the proof. So as long as it looks all right on the proof, then, you know, we should be all right. But there you go. Yeah, that could be the case, because, you know, I used to be a graphic designer. Well, I still do graphic design. I know kind of what I'm doing with this sort of stuff. I know, you know, I've submitted stuff to printers for years. If they need 20 minutes, they should tell you that from start. No, I know. I totally agree, Jonathan. Totally agree. Normally, I haven't had a problem with them. Normally, like my Of Magic and Monkeys, absolutely fine. Is that the only one I've used to print from them? Yeah, I did a hardback and paperback, and that was fine. The bookmarks I got from them, they were fine. So the inside is absolutely fine. They've done a good job. I am happy with them. That's why I'm going to go ahead. But it was just like, oh, why have you put a little QR code on there? And also, why have you done that? You should have come back to me, even if it was just for one copy. So really, in a way, I should get my money back off of this. But they didn't offer. I didn't ask. Maybe I should. Anyway, so that's one update. That's the big update. I've now placed the order for the books. So it's going to take 2 weeks for them to arrive. At least two to three. Well, I can't remember the dates they've said now, but it's at least 2 weeks now. Two, maybe 2.5, 3 weeks. So that's good news. Everything else has come in. The badges have come in. Now, I don't know if you want me to show you the badge. If there's anyone, shall I show you the badge, or shall I just let you discover them? I don't know what to do. What do you think? Is this a good thing or is this a bad thing? Because I'm very excited. They've done a really good job with the badges. It's up to you. If you don't want to see them, say no and I won't. Or if there's only one person that doesn't want to see them, I will give you a spoiler warning. Let me know. I need my little time, mate. Yes, Jonathan's put yes. Spelsing says show. Okay, I will show them. I'm very happy with these. I do want to show them off. So, if you do not want to see the enamel badges, look away now. And turn the volume down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lirin has put reveal them. Okay, so here they are. Well, here's just one of them. Look at the back. I don't know how in focus that's going to be because it's quite small. So there we go. Look at that. Yes, it's the goblin. Oh, I better not say. But there you go. Look at that. They've done a really good job on them. Oh, hang on. Let me hold it by with the back of it. Oh, it's not going to focus, is it? But there you go. Where's the actual camera? It's down here, isn't it? Bada bling. Cool, says Jonathan. They look spot on. That's quality. Yes. Very, very happy. Unfortunately, it's blurry. You can't quite see. Oh, is that better? That's better. If you put in your palm of your hand behind it, it might focus. That's true, but I don't know if I can hold it. Or maybe I could put a bit of white behind it. Would that work? Oh, hello. Right. Is that going to work? Oh, I'll tell you what I could do. Let me put it through here. Let me put it through here. Oh, there you go. That might work. Does that work? A little bit. Oh, that's better, yeah. But they've managed to get really good detail in it. You can see his little teeth. Kind of works. Yeah. But, yeah, there you go. It's a shame because it's got... I can see the little eyes, his little ears... I think you need to hide your beautiful face. Oh, okay. Jonathan, how dare you? Alright, if I hide my beautiful face, does that work? You're just getting me to hide my beautiful face. Is that what it is? Is that working? Not sure if it's working. There you go. Anyway, I think we've spent enough time trying to get it to focus. Hero Quest was the goat. Got into my kids. All we could see was lustrous. Yeah, exactly. I know. No, I can see the numbers very clearly, though. What numbers? What? The numbers on the back, yeah. Well, this was me working out the hardback, cover. This was me because look, it's like the bleed. So this was the size of the actual trim size for the cover, 203 by 293.9, and then it was like plus 40. So it's like, oh, okay. You see, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. Hero Quest with the goats. Yes, Hero Quest was brilliant. You got your kids into it. Yeah, we used to play Hero Quest. Hero Quest, because I didn't play D&D when I was a kid. But Hero Quest. Yeah, absolutely. Is that going to work? Oh, that kind of almost worked, didn't it? Okay, so, there we go. So, that's it. I'm not going to show the badge anymore. But yes, very happy with the badge. I think I got 100 of these. So I'm going to sell them on my stall. Good morning, Sally. Good morning, Sally. The answer is yes. I would like a sandwich, please. Hey. Morning, how are you? Sorry I didn't text you back, but I slept in. I've just shown the enamel badges. Don't mention what they are though, because I did a spoilers, not spoilers. So yeah, very happy with that. So we have the enamel badges. I've got the bookmarks. I've got the metal prints. I've got, what else have I got? All the digital rewards have been distributed. I have. The books have been sent off. They're going to be 2 or 3 weeks. And then the dice. The dice are the next thing, next stage. Now, my friend Hazel, who's doing the resin dice, these are just some that she made me with the little goblin head. They're pretty cool. She is going to be... She hasn't had time to do it this week. However, she's going to be back on it over the weekend. I think she said she should be able to do it over the weekend. So look at these. There's the goblin head. So really excited about that. And hopefully Monday or Tuesday, because she needs to let it dry. We'll know if it's worked or not, because we're trying to put the little logo, you know, into one of the sides, and it's a very small logo I've got. So we shall see. Not to worry, ham and cheese baguette. Thank you very much, Sally. That sounds fantastic. And can I have a crescent of crisps, please? Is that for everyone? No jam. It's not. It's just for me. Just for special me. Oh, ham and cheese all round. Oh, okay. It is for everyone. Apologies for the vegans. No, don't worry about it. They can eat ham. They just pretend they can't. Leaving his prayer, I admit the map, hastily and groggily drawn, half asleep in pen, of Neri is still pretty rough, but when the adventure is over, I'm going to redraw it pencil, then Photoshop it. Oh, well, that would be fantastic. Only if you want to, Lirin. I mean, that's amazing. Yeah, it's great that you're doing it. So that's what I'm trying to say. Is the end is nigh. The end is nigh. I do need to buy. When I get the books back, I do need to again buy packaging for it. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, to send out everything else, all the final rewards in March. I don't know what day in March, but it will be in March. I'm pretty confident about that. So there we go. So it's only taken me a year and a half. That's terrible, isn't it? But thank you for all hanging with me, because it's one of those things where, you know, it's hard enough doing everything yourself, and with Sally and Claire and Jonathan, the advisor, and people that play tested it. Okay, so I didn't do it all by myself, but I did a lot of it by myself. It's hard enough doing that as well, but then also that pressure, and Jonathan and Jam, kind of, you might know about that, of like, oh, I've got to deliver this, I've got to deliver this. Because you don't do it intentionally. You know, you've got all good intentions to produce a fantastic Kickstarter. However, like I was saying right at the beginning of the show, time is limited. And with the Bottled Imp, I found that I was putting my limited time, you know, into the YouTube channel rather than into my creative projects. So in a way, stopping doing the Bottled Imp meant, oh, look, I've actually got time. You know, and for a while I'd call myself a writer, and I was like, yeah, but I've not even written anything for ages. How can... Do you see what I mean? So it's like, yeah, you've got to actually keep doing it. But also what I didn't really expect was to be flying around the world, you know, promoting Guildlands. So that slowed down the writing of this and the production of this. So, however, Lehman's put, oh, gladly, the last two adventures remind me how much I love drawing maps. Oh, fantastic. And Steve and Ian suggested in hints on how to play back in the boyhood. Yeah, no, absolutely, it is. It was draw the map, so you kind of know where you're going. I don't think... No, I did. I think I drew the Forest of Doom map. I think I started doing that. That's the one where you're looking for the two parts of the hammer, as far as I can remember. And I remember drawing that, but I don't think I drew... I might have drawn the Warlock of Firetop Mountain. Deadlines are not gospel as a writer. They're estimates, yeah. That's brilliant. Yeah, what is it? The Douglas Adams sort of. I love deadlines. I like to hear the sound when they go whooshing past. Yeah, they are estimates. I think you're right. Actually, that's a good way of looking at it. Obviously, you try your best to fulfill it the time that you said, but you know, I thought I would give myself October to May, October. November, so it'd be November, December, and then May. So that's 7 months. I thought I'd be able to finish it and get everything done in 7 months, which I thought was quite a long time. But as I say, if I was working full time on it, then I probably would have hit the 7-month deadline, but I wasn't. So, or as Barbarossa, the pirate captain, says, the code is less like rules and more like guidelines. Nice. I like that. Yeah, well, it is. It is kind of like, this is where I'm planning on doing it. And so I've been very fortunate. I think I only had one person cancel, you know, and ask for a refund, which I think is perfectly reasonable. You know, I was, you know, maybe a year into that at that point, maybe. You know, so I think that's perfectly reasonable. However, there's no rest for the wicked. So I think what I'm going to do, I've said this last time, I'm going to start the next game book and then get a rough idea and then say when's best for me to do the Kickstarter again. So it might be that I do it next year, so 2027. Or it might be that I do it October again, but it all depends. If I'm going off to Essen, yeah, no, that might not affect it. But Essen, if I am going off to Essen, I don't know if I am, Outset Media might invite me again to promote Guildlands. Then obviously that's like a week out of the schedule, and you can't really do anything else. You can't. I mean, it's full on. It's full on. Jonathan knows when Jonathan does, and Jam. I guess you've done stalls at fairs, have you? I'm not sure if you have actually, but anyway, anyone that's done a stall on a, you know, in a craft fair or anything like that, in a book festival, you kind of on all the time. You know, you want to make sure you're not going to miss out on sales. So there's that to it. Plus, you know, you do need to kind of build in breaks now and again if you can. And then you know, you kind of want time to socialise afterwards. That can be still a bit tiring. Or you want to go and see shows. You know, Ollie Mack has got his show at UKG. I kind of tempted to sort of go off and see that. I have been invited to UK Games by Outset again, so that's great news, to promote and launch Guildlands, because that hasn't been, I guess, officially launched in the UK yet. You know, it's out, it's available, you can buy it, but we've not done a UK convention yet where it's been available to the public, I don't think. They've done some sort of trade fairs where they've shown it to trade people, but, you know, retailers and presumably other publishers, but not UKG, which is the biggest one, isn't it? So yeah, so I've been invited along there, so that's very nice. I'm going to go to there, but I'm tempted to go and see Ollie's show. Hopefully there's still tickets. What else was I going to say? I was going to ramble on to something else. Oh yeah, so the plan is to write a lot of it. Just start writing it, and then work out when is best to do the next Kickstarter. Phantom of the Opera is coming to my hometown. Fantastic, in time in April. That I've not seen Phantom of the Opera, and I'm not a massive musical fan. However, that theme, Phantom of the Opera, is very enticing. It does interest me. But I am cracking on with the next game book. That is the joint game book that Jam and I, you know, if you back Jam's project, you back my project, you're going to get this free as a free ebook. So this is The Rat Wife of Sleepy Eye. And so it is a much shorter adventure. We'd always said it was going to be a shorter adventure. I sort of thought it'd be about 100 entries. It's actually worked out at sort of like 130, around about there. And the good news is I'm halfway through writing this already. Yes. So I'm on entry 60, which is not quite halfway. But it's close to being halfway, so I'm going to claim it's halfway. Leaving Put, it is literally the first opera I saw as a boy in Melbourne back in 1989. Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. You know what happens then. Is there a Phantom of the Opera board game? Jonathan, come on, you need to do a game book of Phantom of the Opera. Come on, that's out of copyright, isn't it? Surely. Isn't it Hugo Weaving? He's the author? Hugo somebody or other, isn't it? Mine's tested and illustrated underway. 200 entries. Fantastic. So Jam's one is play tested and illustration are underway. 200 entries. Hugo first. Hugo first. That wasn't his name, was it? Hugo. No. Oh, Hugo first. No, Hugo first. Oh, a 13-ish number of entries. A Gothic omen for Gothic adventure. Here you go. Yeah, just 13? Oh, 130-ish. Anyway, yes, no, come on, you should do that. What? Rambling now. Yes, so I am, almost halfway through and enjoying writing this one. So that's good. And it's not going to be using the full-on Edra Tales gamebook mechanics. It's not using the full-on mechanics. However, I have put a little other thing in there that's not in the main game book. And yes, as we have already spoken, Troy from Savage Realms Game Books has very kindly offered to print Jam's book and my book. I don't think he's doing them together. I think he's doing them separately. So there will be separate books. So as in not this book, but the extra one, the Sleepy Rat, Wife of Sleepy Eye, as an actual print book. So what we've arranged with him is that everyone that backed Jam's campaign and my campaign will get a free print book now. So it's been upgraded, whereas everyone else is going to have to buy theirs. So there we go. So that's very exciting. In fact, I had a little text message conversation with Troy the other day. We were just touching base, so to speak, just seeing what happened. Oh no, I was going to say, I could put my badge back on now I've shown it, but better not, just in case people don't want to see it. Yeah, so that's really cool. So he was still saying, are you still doing this? And I was like, yeah, absolutely, you're happy still to do it. So that's cool. So I'm not sure when that's all going to happen, but as soon as I finish writing this, I'm going to ask Sally, hello, if she would very kindly proofread it. I'll proofread it. And also, I will be looking for playtesters. Julian's already offered to playtest it, so that's very kind of him. So I might, what's the recommendation? How many people do you need to playtest it? Do you need a couple of people? Anyway, I'll look for some more playtesters as well. So that's kind of the main news, really, that everything with the To Kill a Thief is coming up roses. I'm just waiting for the dice to get sorted out, which should be next week. And then we're literally just waiting on the books to come back and for me to buy sort of packaging. Because when I want to get everything in, then I'm going to get... and then I'm going to get a rough idea of how much, what packaging, the type of packaging I need, depending on, what reward it is. So that's very exciting. That's pleasant to watch, isn't it? So I'm going to get everything there. The other... I got a bit of exciting news as well. Okay, let me just take a cup of tea. So, I have a contact in the theatre industry. I know a few people in the theatre industry. He's a director. He's a gamer. Half cheekily, in case I won't be able to do the Chainsaw and Raptor board game. Yeah. Say if a piano drops from the sky and falls on my head, I give you fellas full permission to the idea for a game book. Well, thank you very much, Lee Rin. Chainsaw and Raptors. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. There's so many... The thing is, for me, I've got so many ideas that it's like, what one do I do? What one do I prioritise? So... I find most playtesters are more critics. Andy Have is good and Andrew Jackson too. Oh, okay. I don't know them. I don't think I know them. Do they charge? Because I haven't really got a budget for this one. Because this was like a little extra one. But yeah, ideas. Like what? That's another thing, that the bane of creativity, isn't it? Like, what project do you do next? Because again, you've got a finite amount of time. So, I mean, the board games at the moment, I have got a few on the go. As you know, I've got Devilish Deaths, my murder mystery game. I've got my Fat Cat, Fat Cat game, which is a card game. That's pretty much finished now. I just need to playtest it a few more times. But then the next one is, can't really see that, but it's Christmas Carol, my Christmas Carol board game as well. So, you know, in terms of board games, I've got a few ideas on the go. And that's, again, one of my problems is I take on too many projects. So I'm trying not to do too many projects. All these chats, says Lewin, during the pandemic, and I have not thought about the cheeky grindhouse I'd for literally 2 years. Yeah, exactly. I know. Yeah, lockdown was an interesting time, wasn't it? They don't charge, but a credit is nice. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Well, I'll have to. Maybe if you text me those names, I might be able to. Do they loiter in the game book groups? Do they? So yes, sorry. What I was going to say is that my friend. Should I name him? He goes to the St Albans board game group that I go to. He's into gaming. And he's a director of theatre, and I mean he's a really nice guy. He's very tall as well. Not that makes any difference. Really nice guy, and he said he was interested in my Devilish Dilemmas stage show, my game book stage show that I'd written, and I rewrote it as a one-person show. I.e. me as Loquacious McCarbre, as like the Storyteller Dungeon Master. So it's, you know, riffing off of other stage shows like The Dark Room in a way, but not really, but in a way where, because John does sort of improv with the audience, doesn't he? So I kind of got a bit of that in it. But it's basically a game book. It's giving you the choice. So it's not out and out role playing, because Paul Flannelly, is that his name? Flanagy? He does Nightmare. So it's not like Nightmare, but it kind of is like Nightmare. He also did Nightmare's brilliant. He also did, as The Dark Room is as well. He also did a role-playing game that I actually went along to see as well up in Edinburgh. That was really funny. Paul Flannery, that's it. I'm getting close to to pronouncing his name. Yeah. And that was very funny. And yeah, so it was like, oh, okay, yeah, maybe this is, so out of being influenced, and Ollie Mack's stuff as well, you know, what he was doing. And also the Ian Livingstone, when he reads his game book out, that works because it's Ian Livingstone and John Robinson, obviously. That works because of that. They're going to get an audience because of who they are. Somebody like me, who nobody knows who I am, me just saying, right, I'm going to read out a game book and someone's going to act it out, isn't necessarily going to get the audience in. So what I've had to do is create an actual game book play where I'm the dungeon master as such. You know, I'm the... we know you can. Well, thank you very much. And all 10 of you, I thank you. Yeah. If only life was that simple. Could just go on tour and the same 10 people turn up. That's all you needed. But obviously I do appreciate you guys watching and chatting, and it's good. So I showed him what I'd written, and so I've done like a full-on, it should be about 50 minutes, maybe an hour play, stage show with the game book. So I've written an adventure, and so I modified it, because before I had my friend Dave involved, but he lives in Norwich, we've got no funding, all of that. So I modified it to me, and then we get the audience up. We're going to choose somebody to be the adventurer. They're going to make decisions. We're going to get the audience to shout out things. Plus also the non-player characters when they meet, you know, like guards, or they meet a shopkeeper, or they meet somebody else. You know, we're going to get them up from the audience. They'll be playing that. So it's very much interactive. Julian, hello Julian. How are you, sir? Missed all of this. Who's being critical rather than playtest? Well, basically, I am writing my Rat Wife of Sleepy Eye, the next game book that is the short one that both Jam and I are doing one each, you know, and we're going to send them out to both of our backers. And I was like, oh, I need, you know, playtesters, and you've already offered to playtest it. So I was like, that's very kind of Julian. And I said, maybe I need other people to playtest it. And then Jam put, oh, it's more critics, Andrew Jackson and Anders Have. Presumably they're reviewers. Lyrin's put here, you wake up to find yourself in Grocklesnook's room. You're never leaving there. That's if you're in that state. He won't let you go. Why do you think I'm still here? He can fly out. There's a window up there with small grill he can fit through. Yes, good morning, Julian. Good morning, good morning. How are you? Hope you're well. Yeah, so my question was, so I kind of need some other play testers. So if they're up for it, that'd be great. If they do, that'd be cool. But we're just talking about the Devilish Dilemmas stage show, because I've got a friend who's a director, and he's into gaming, and he's into the game books. You know, he's very into it. It's kind of like the perfect director for the show. Anders and Andrew are great. Okay, there you go. James, okay. Oh, okay. David Tobin, awesome. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you for that, Jam. Now, I do know James, so that's good. I don't think I've met David. Not sure. I might have sort of randomly met him at the Fighting Fantasy once. Fair enough. Ah, yes. Is this back on as a two-man show? Well, it's back on potentially as a one-man show. Because I realised that if we haven't got any funding, or we've got low funding, so I rewrote it as a one-man show, basically so I could just put it on, and it's just easier because, you know, Dave does live in Norwich. That's 2 hours away or whatever, you know, an hour and a half away. We haven't got the funding. He hasn't got a car. You know, it's tricky. So I just thought, well, I'm going to put it on in Hertford and just see what audience I can get. Yes, we did discuss this previously, absolutely. Now, the little bit of extra news, though, that I am rambling to say, is that my friend Dan, who's a director, I've mentioned him now, Big Dan, he's a director, he's a gamer, he's a really lovely bloke. You can do a one-man show to earn the cash to do September. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. This is what it's all about. This is what I'm finding. I'm earning money here to then pay for this here, to pay for that. That's a good thing about Kickstarter, though, is that you can hopefully fund your project with the Kickstarter money, you know, that you can actually reach your goal. So, he then claimed the grant back. Oh, I see, yes. Oh, sorry. I totally forgot about that. Yeah. Yes. Well, kind of yes and no. I've forgotten about that. No, so Dan is an independent director. He's a really good bloke, really nice guy. I've known him for probably about a year and a half now, maybe 2 years. Goes to my gaming group. He's into gaming. He's into game books. And he has theatre connections, as you can imagine. And there was a theatre, and I forgot which one, who is looking for new plays to put on, and they will fund them. So he said he had a meeting with them, and they've taken a couple of his plays that he's written, potentially to put on, plus they really like the idea of my interactive stage show, the game book stage show. So that's basically the update. How long did it take just to say that bit? How long? So it's moving very slowly. So if they do like it, and they agree, then we can get some funding. Now, I don't know what funding it is, but at least, I might get paid a little bit. We'll get paid to develop the show a bit more from Hertfordshire Council. Yes, it's not Hertfordshire Council this time. Oh, thank you, Julian. It is good news, because it's like, oh, okay, they think it's a good project. Sorry, that's me turning up, disrupting the stream play. Yes, let's all blame Julian. Point at Julian. Everyone boo. Shame. Shame. When I did Malakar, and Witches, half the playtesters never bothered. They just wanted a free PDF and enjoy the glory of reading it first. I did wonder if that happens, yeah. Mark Lane, busy as he is, may offer a hand. Louise Lee is good, though. Or sometimes doesn't understand the phrases. Run him through with your sword was question, for example. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess some people won't know certain things, yeah. I'm not having my hair cut off. Oh, come on. Come on. You like a bit of that, don't you? Strip naked. Mocked. Walking through the streets. Yes, no, that's interesting. I did wonder that, though, if people just wanted to get stuff early. But then it's almost like, if you read a playtesting version, you're kind of spoiling it for yourself anyway, aren't you? Because it's not necessarily a finished article. Anyway, who knows what goes through people's minds. Yeah, that's a completely separate thing. So this would be funding up front, workshopping it, and then, hopefully performing it at the theatre. And then if we can get that going, Dan was saying about, it's a show that can be repeated. We could do a regular once-a-month slot at that theatre because it's an evolving stage show, Because there's so many different decisions to make, you could watch it several times and still find it entertaining because it might be a different ending, there'll be a different, I didn't meet this character last time. Plus, because different audience members are coming up, they're going to bring their own comedy to it as well. So, Jonathan's put, about a quarter of the people who backed my Kickstarter at the playtest level actually gave me playtest feedback. Okay, a quarter. So what's that, a quarter? There you go, that's my representation of a quarter. Yeah. And I kind of get it because you might have all good intentions to go, I'll playtest that. And then when it comes to it, you then might look at it and go, oh my God, that's a lot of work. It's like, So that, this is why anybody that did playtest it and give me feedback, very, very grateful. We learned the best way we learn the best way that way, I suppose. Yeah, exactly. You have to just do these things to find out, don't you? Once was bad enough. Thanks. It's cold. I thought you were talking about playtesting my game book there. The cheek of it. So, Julian, do you want to see, very quickly, because we're just about to wrap this up, do you want to see the enamel badge? Oh, you asked me about the company, didn't you? Do you want to see the enamel badge? Never that. Because I have got the badges back. Julian's put, yes, please. Just before I show you, I'm going to read Ian's comment out. I remember in Ian's 80s book, What is Dungeons and Dragons? There was literal monthly LARP in Castle Ruins in England. A live-action dungeon crawl, theatre club, if you will. Oh, fantastic. Yeah. The thing is, me doing a game book stage show is nothing new. It's not an original idea. However, it's how you do it. It's how you present it. If you look at The Dark Room, John Robinson, if you look at Paul Flannery's Nightmare and his role-playing other one, you look at Ollie Mack's Story Masters Tales, they're all of the same thing, but they're different. You look at Critical Role, they're all different. There's a werewolf stage show as well where they play werewolf, so everyone is the same type of thing, but it's different. I guess in a way it's a genre, isn't it? It's like comedy isn't original, but my comedy is different from your comedy. So you can have several comedy shows, but they're going to be different. So it's the same in that respect. Okay, so if you don't want to see the badge, look away now. Look away now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we discovered, though, that it doesn't really show up that well. It's a little bit blurry. Is that slightly better? If I cover my face. Oh, look, yeah, I think Jonathan was right. So there you go. Looking pretty good. I know it's slightly out of focus. Oh, look, even though it's blurry, oh, you can see it better now. Even though it's blurry, you can see that a little bit more detail on it. Yeah. So it's really cool. Very happy with it. I'll show you the back of it. You know, it's a nice thickness. And I think it's 25mm. So you got the pin. I think you know what a badge looks like. So there you go. Yeah. You can see his eyes. If it wasn't blurry, you'd be able to see his eyes and that. Ho, ho, ho. Looking forward to having that on my jacket. Yes, well, I've been wearing mine. I've been wearing it on this. So there we go. So, yeah. So all the rewards are coming in. I'm just waiting for the dice now. It should be next week. And the book should be here in a couple of weeks' time. Then I should be able to get everybody's rewards out to them in March. And then it begins. I am halfway through writing the next one, The Rat Wife of Sleepy Eye, which is the joint one. You know, it's the free one. If you backed James's game book and my game book, you'll get that free as an ebook. And then Troy, when Troy prints it, gets it published, because he's going to publish Jam's and my one, I think that he's doing it separately, then you will get a print copy, and then everybody should be able to buy this from Savage Realms Books. The badge appeared at literally 7:07 in Taiwan. Oh, okay, good omen. Yes, the seventh son of the seventh son. Julian's bird. Does Kay know about Kingsport dedication? Oh, I don't know. Ooh. Sounds good. Sounds good to me. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Right, I better go then before it all kicks off. Thank you so much, Julian, for watching at the end there. Thank you, Lerin. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Martha. Thank you, Sally. Thank you. Damn, that's all right. In fact, I do need to get the second one. I have not yet got the second one. Yeah, second one's been out quite a while. Maybe we could do that one next after the... Oh, no, we're doing the whole sorcery first, aren't we? Thank you, Spellsing. Yeah, Jonathan's like, you idiot. Thank you, Lerin. Thank you, Spellsing. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Julian. Thank you, Sally. Thank you, Jam. Thank you, everybody. It's been a pleasure. You can tell him if you like. Oh, okay. Oh, that's very kind of you, Jonathan. I'm blushing if there's a dedication. That's very kind of you. I genuinely am starting to blush. But no, you're blushing. You're blushing. Oh, no, we'll talk about this next week because I'm running over time. Right then, everybody, it's been great once again. I genuinely enjoy these little chats. Hopefully you do. And, hopefully you find some sort of help in creative stuff and all of that. Until next time, may your thieving never be caught. Oh, and just a reminder, 7:15 is the new time, Wednesday, 7:15. If I can make it earlier, I will come on earlier. So if I can make it by 7, I will just come on. And then we can just chat and stuff like that, and we'll start the game book at 7:15. But I thought if I say 7 o'clock and I can't make it, then people think I'm late. Whereas if I say 7:15, then if I'm early, if I can make it earlier, then I will do. Thank you so much. Sorcery Part 3, Book 2, this Wednesday 7:15. Bye. I'm off to trash myself with a perch for being presumptive. No, you're fine. It's fine. Setting alarm clock at 2:55. I appreciate your dedication, Lerin. Suits you. Suits you, sir. Ooh. Take care, everybody. Until Wednesday. Bye.